I got a comp, an SC Trainer comp 3. Welcome back to the channel. I am Cody from the Shoe In With Cody, and we got ourselves a good one. Today, we're talking about the New Balance Super Comp Trainer 3. I've had this shoe for a little while now, and I've racked up the miles. I think I have about 34-ish miles into this shoe, and I got a lot to say. In this video, I'm going to cover the good, the bad, and the verdict. Should you buy this shoe? Yeah, this shoe right here. Now, before I dive into this, I have a favor to ask you. Hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it definitely helps the channel. Now, let's sit back, relax, and let's talk about the New Balance Super Comp Trainer 3. Because I'm a positive guy, I'm going to talk about the positives first. And there are definitely a lot of things I liked about the shoe. The first one being the fuel cell foam. Look at that foam. I mean, you can just see it. It is super comfortable underfoot, and it definitely feels fantastic when you're picking the paces up. This shoe is a super trainer. Again, the blurred line of what a super trainer is, you're looking at 41 millimeters of fuel cell stack in the heel, giving you about a 6 millimeter drop shoe. And this foam is fantastic underfoot. It feels really nice when you're going moderate paces. For me, that's about 8:30, or dropping the hammer. I did some great speed work in the shoe, so anywhere between 6:05 and 6:15, this shoe also felt fantastic. I'm telling you, this is a whole lot of fuel cell goodness. The other thing is it does have a plate in here, and it definitely helps. This is one of those shoes that you can tell it has a plate because of how fast you feel in the shoe. I'm going to be honest with you, for being 41 millimeters in the heel, pretty stable shoe. I've run on this on roads, treadmills, and on gravel. We have a rail trail here in Pennsylvania. No issues at all. At no point did I feel like this was too much sack for my ankles, which is fantastic. I know some people will probably look at a shoe like this and go, my ankles are not going to work. I'm definitely happy to report not an issue at all. The other thing is, while my size is probably like a 9.8 ounces, the shoe definitely feels light on foot. I've taken this for some really long runs. I think it was like 15, 16 miles into the shoe for a long run, and it felt really, really nice. It felt good at the beginning of the run and after the run. I definitely find this to be really good for long runs where you want to kind of push the pace a little bit, not drop the hammer, and on those speed days when you want to drop the hammer. I feel like there's two categories. This shoe is kind of fitting for me, and I think if you're looking for a shoe to do both of those in a shoe, this is definitely a shoe you're going to want to look at. The upper is good. I'm really happy with the tongue. It's definitely a comfortable tongue. Good lockdown. No heel slippage at all. Upper really, again, from this part, really just does a really good job locking the foot in. Felt great on shorter runs and longer runs. Really no issues at all with the tongue and or the lockdown. Again, overall, for this shoe, taking it long, taking it short, it's definitely hitting a lot of marks for me. With the good, there has to be some bad. And with this shoe, there are at least two things I need to point out that I do think could be a game changer for all of you. One, I find the shoe to be a little narrow. When I ran, my big toe got pretty beat up. I did get a blister on my big toe. I find the upper to be just a little too narrow, and it does hurt my foot. Again, it didn't affect the performance of the shoe. It still felt very fast, and it worked out really nicely. But again, I will be honest with you, my big toe right here definitely felt it. I don't know if it's just the overlay, because this is definitely heavier, like a little bit thicker. If it's just more narrow, I'm not 100% sure. But if you have wide feet, I don't think this shoe is going to fit for you. The other one I want to point out, I mentioned in the good, if I'm going to moderate paces at 8:30, or picking the pace up, felt really good. Not so much going slow. So with this shoe, when I tried doing a recovery day run, and my recovery is anywhere between 8:50 and 9:10 in that range, I really didn't like this shoe. I was getting shin kind of pains a little bit and Achilles issues. It just felt like it was fighting me. It felt like it just wanted me to be on my toes, pushing the pace. And my legs, I'll be honest with you, hated it at a slower pace. It just did not feel comfortable to me. The other issue I had with this shoe, and I do need to point it out, and it could be a Cody issue, I just want to grant that, is this thing soaks sweat and it does not release it. I did one run and I took my shoe off. my sock was completely soaked and the shoe was so wet with my sweat. So yeah, it doesn't feel hot when you're running in it, but it definitely is keeping that sweat in. My foot, again, I took my sock off and I took my shoe off, and this thing was just, you could just feel it. You could flick it and see sweat just pouring out of it. Again, I know I am a heavy sweater. I imagine some of you are also heavy sweaters, but that is something that kind of, it didn't bother me at the time, but afterwards I was like, whoa, what is going on with this? So again, really the three big issues for me is if you have a wide foot, you might want to be careful. If you're planning on getting a super trainer like this to be kind of slower days, I just don't love it for that. And then the other one is if you're a big sweater like myself, you just might want to be careful. This thing definitely soaks up sweat. But honestly, that's it. Overall, again, it performed extremely well, but there are some negatives you all need to know about. So you heard the good and you heard the bad. Now you want to know, should you buy this shoe? And I'm going to give you two answers. I think if you have a wide foot, I don't think you're going to like the shoe. I think you should, or if you can find it in wide. If you're looking for standard, this shoe's going to crush your foot. I honestly do. I have a wideish foot. If I had a super wide foot, my big toe would have been pretty busted up. The other thing I'm going to say is if you want a super trainer to go slow in, I don't think you're going to love this shoe for that. I think there's better super trainers out there for that. But if you are looking for a super trainer to use on the long runs where you want to kind of pick those paces up, or you want to also have a long run shoe that you can do tempo days in it, yeah, this shoe is definitely for you. I really enjoy doing speed work in it and my long runs with paces. So again, this is a shoe that I do think a lot of people are going to like. And I believe it's about $180. Which isn't bad for a super trainer. It's definitely one of the cheaper super trainers, which again, I hate saying it because 180 is so super expensive, but it is definitely on the cheaper end. It works really nicely, but it has its limitations. So before you buy, if you got a wide foot, you want to go super slow in it, you might want to beware. For everybody else that wants to kick up the paces, this shoe's probably for you. So there you had it. You heard the good, you heard the bad, and you heard my verdict. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried this shoe? Do you like this shoe? Do you love this shoe? Or do you hate this shoe? Let me know. Drop a comment below. And I also want to know, what can I answer for you to get this shoe on your foot? Let me know. Comment below. And remember, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. We got a lot of fun things happening here on the channel, and I want you all involved. Until next time, I'll see you all out on the run.